bipartisan group of lawmakers, so not all, but mostly Republicans, funding that was provided for experiments on beagle puppies. 24 members of the House of Representatives signed a letter to Fauci, director of NIH or NIAID, part of the NIH, so basically his section of the NIH. Non-profit group White Coat Waste, which was obtained documents under the Freedom of Information Act, spent $1.68 million taxpayer money for experiments on beagles in a lab in Tunisia. The experiments reportedly involved testing drugs in the animals. In some cases, they were debarked through a procedure called a cordorectomy. This is a very friendly way to put it, Newsweek. Debarked. They snipped their vocal cords. The lawmakers, led by Nancy Mace of South Carolina, wrote to Fauci, grave concerns. So, yeah, like I said, dogs were between 6 and 8 months old, injecting and force-feeding the puppies with experimental drug before killing and dissecting them. They're really burying the lead here. Newsweek is being very friendly to this, and this is weird. Cordectomy, they're saying. They're not even explaining. There we go. Slitting a dog's vocal cords in order to prevent them from barking, howling, or crying. Really burying that, Newsweek. Cruel procedure, opposed with rare exceptions, American Veterinary Association. Yeah, it's bad. We know. They're not mentioning this stuff about locking not found cages. There we go. Shame on this top comment here. Shame on you, Newsweek. You left out the portion of the story that states the reason for scientists debarked the puppies. They're placed in cages with sandflies that ate the puppies' heads alive. That's exactly true. I read that on 2 other articles. Shame on Newsweek. So you've just given us a clip here, Newsweek. Newsweek is not reporting the part where the puppies were locked in cages to be eaten alive by flies, locked in that just by the head, locked in cages in the middle of the desert, Eric, so that the flies would eat them alive so that they could test their new drugs on them. We were talking before we went on air. Wouldn't it be crazy if, NIH admitted that they were funding Wuhan, which Fauci allegedly, again, we have to say this, we don't get sued, lied about to Congress when he was shaking his head. He was yelling back and forth with Rand Paul, I believe it was. They admitted that earlier this week.
He was doing his neck roll. Like, no, you're the liar.
Yeah. Now is the thing that might possibly bring him down with a little bit of bipartisan support, mostly Republicans. Animal abuse that he's funding. Is this what's going to take him off CNN, Eric?
Well, no. That would be nice, but it's going to be that would be nice, but it won't happen. And it's very similar to what we saw with Andrew Cuomo, right? The guy, his whole nursing home executive order, shut down, eliminated the entire economy of New York in order to save the most vulnerable, but still killed thousands of the most vulnerable. And it's all backwards. So even if we were in a mildly sane situation, then yes, then fine. If it's torturing puppies that takes Fauci down, fine. It doesn't matter that he's been lying to us for the past 2 years. But here's another thing that, and this is a little bit different, but this article, again from Newsweek that I've pulled up, it's from August 6, 2021, and it says, University defends vaccine test on dogs after Fauci and NIH blasted with criticism. So apparently this is not the same thing, but this one got little to no play. Now, I'll credit where it's due, I guess, to Newsweek for at least publishing this headline. But what I'm understanding here is now it takes 2 instances of Fauci abusing dogs to get a little bit of coverage that still will not have any consequences for him.